which has partnered with a creative agency. So on one side, we all have like creative assets and creative development. And the company is called Join to develop the digital arm of the business. So I have a heavy background in performance advertising. Our strengths are within like programmatic channels, search, display, and we don't have a ton of, like I have a lot of knowledge in the social space, but I don't have the manpower right now to really satisfy that part of the business.
Yeah.
And you can't really have a business this day and age and not be able to have any sort of, not have a social presence. So the goal right now is to contract a partner to help me with the fulfillment on social. If I like the way the relationship goes, maybe I don't hire someone full time. If I think like it can be collaborative, maybe I do hire someone full time to work with you guys and help manage, you know, but it's really to pick a few campaigns and clients to test out the process, see how you guys do, see how you guys function, and then really, you know, see what the long-term goals are for both sides. So
awesome.
I have access to, I don't want to say endless, but just a slew of clients that, you know, really have a need for this service. And, you know, a lot of them right now are e-commerce based clients, but there's a lot of different types of clients. So just want to talk through what your experience is specifically with e-commerce clients as it relates to cosmetics, lifestyle brands, and then really kind of jump in from there.
So e-commerce is our bread and butter. There's so many different things that you can do with e-commerce, and especially with social ads. I'm just going to go ahead and rant on about this. So you tell me when to stop, okay?
Yep.
But I love the e-commerce whole spectrum because we can run what people are used to doing through just email automation and messenger bots, and we can run that on different types of we can do messenger bots too and email automation, but the types of retargeting ads that we run on Facebook aren't just going to be cold traffic where we use lookalike audience based on lists. We're also going to be targeting anybody when they go into the initial site, of course, a normal retargeting ad. But when they go to abandoned cart, we start to trigger a sequence of ads. So that initial abandoned cart, if they don't react within 7 days, they see one certain ad. And then over the next 23 days, if they don't act in the first 7, they see a different ad. So we take them off that. And then for the next 180 days, we take them off both of those ads and show them something else.
So you got time triggers.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, marketing is marketing. You can't create a static ad and expect, I know you deal with this all the time with Google display ads. I'm sure you guys are always having to change things up that way. Same concept. We want to do the same thing with our ads. So we create more of an evergreen process. So this way it's all systematic. And after they go to purchase, we do the exact same thing again. So once they purchase, we now start hitting them with a sequence of layered retargeting ads for post-purchase. And this way we can start to really maximize the profits by cross-selling. And I absolutely love e-commerce because not only can you do this with email automation, but when you do it on Facebook ads, using obviously the audience network is typically, we'll use every network we can for retargeting. And we typically use the display ad exchange as well. But if you guys have that covered, then it's just a perfect symphony, right?
Yeah.
So it's really exciting working with e-commerce clients.
Got it.
And then of course, you know, if they need help with their actual store, then that's when we start applying heat maps. We start really working on optimizing that portion. If they're using an e-commerce store, I'm sure you've already seen the stats and whatnot on these kinds of things, but we want to try to shoot for that 2 to 4% range for conversion. And if we can get their website to convert at that rate and start driving in other really, really cheap, relevant traffic like Snapchat paid ads, you know, we're using those right now as well. Not a lot of companies are, which is giving us a huge leverage because of the cost per thousand on that. This might seem insane, but we're getting it between $1.50 and $4. And it's an absolute game changer. And it's one of our hidden gems. So we're using that to drive in, especially with this new algorithm change on Facebook. It's been great for our e-commerce stores because we're not going to, and even local business, because we're not going to be able to target third-party data like we used to. So we're having to use this new traffic source to drive in traffic at almost 4 times less the cost than Facebook. Yeah. And then we can retarget it for almost 10 times less, or I guess technically 4 times less if you look at the CPM range.
Right.
So it's been a freaking game changer for us being able to cross promote these 2 platforms. But we love e-commerce for that reason.
So you guys reference a 2 to 4 conversion rate. How long does it take you to get to that conversion metric? Because it's just foolish to assume right out the gate you're going to be hitting that type of metric. So like, you know, how long do you know, historically, how long has it taken you to get up to that point?
So 90 days gives us a gauge to where we can get a better expectation of,
Okay.
I know you probably said that to your clients all the time too, but 90 days really is that kind of like sweet spot, whether we're just on a funnel or we're helping with a Shopify store. So
That's, yeah, I mean, that fits 100% in line with what I propose to all of our clients. It's, so it's usually month one, you're targeting maybe a 50%, return on ad spend, month two, 75% return on ad spend. And by month three, we're targeting a break even, campaign and growing from there.
Yeah. And of course it's all circumstantial, right? Just based on what they already have coming in, how big the business is.
So when we talk about KPIs and we talk about targets, a lot of my clients like to look at it as a percentage of the transaction being driven. So, as a soft target, where maybe we're looking at 25% of the retail price.
Nice.
Not sure how that fits within what you guys have historically done. Curious to hear your thoughts on it, because you said, you do say you have a lot of experience within e-commerce. So what do you guys see as the target KPIs you try to shoot for?
Yeah. So are you talking about margins, that 25%?
Yeah, no. So simple as this: if a consumer purchases a product for $10, we want to spend $250 to acquire that consumer.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is going to be relatively the same thing.
Yeah,
we're going to be looking at. We track that though in the business manager of Facebook. I'm sure you guys do with Google Analytics and whatnot, but we try to hit around the same metric.
Okay.
So we're going to be tracking, but we track the total cost for that. We update it by dynamic value, so this way when they do go to purchase, it'll just automatically update based on that total dollar amount. I know a lot of people like to add in the price per product on every product at the store, and we can do that too. But we typically dynamically update it at the checkout page.
Got it.
That'll translate to the business manager.
So with your ad campaigns, how often are you guys typically swapping out creatives? What is like your bid strategy in terms of how you guys go about winning bids at auction, things like that?
So great question. Changing up the creatives is, again, going to be circumstantial. If you see some stuff working, we're not really going to change creatives frequently. In terms of relevancy, to be honest, with making money, we don't always have to have like an 8 relevancy score on our ads in order to make money. We've seen it happen with 4 or 5. So we're not too concerned with that portion of it. But in the terms of winning the bid so we can get sales up front, we will do a higher bid amount than we need to, almost max bid, so we can start getting the sales right away. I'm sure you guys probably do that with Google AdWords and stuff too, with search. I know that's one of our strategies with that as well, especially when we do conquesting programs and whatnot. But yeah, we do the same thing on Facebook. Same concept.
Max bid and then optimize your CTR, bring your bid price down. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not too different from AdWords. We like to take a lot of same.
Content creation. Do you guys handle that in-house? Are you dependent on us to give you the assets? How does that go?
Yeah. So because you're already an ad agency, I'm just going to be real with you. We can do it all in-house, but we are not a creative agency.
Good.
So, I don't know if you say that to people, but
that's not what I want you guys focusing on. I want to ultimately, we just want the numbers to kind of dictate which creative and content is working the best. So my goal is to just give you guys a portfolio of assets and maybe some guidelines in terms of, product descriptions and things like that. And then rely on your expertise when it comes to copy and how we're going to, dictate the call to action for the consumer.
Copy is the biggest part. That's like our bread and butter. With that, we get conversions. What we typically do with our clients, we actually send them through an onboarding funnel, and it has a couple of videos. They're like 2 minutes each, and we actually have the clients themselves go into the business manager and upload whatever video assets and picture assets they have. Mm-hmm. And then we don't see what we need from there. That's when we go and we start to see how we can supplement that. But we actually have the client onboard themselves.
Got it.
So I don't know how that onboarding works for you guys, and we figure it out amongst each other.
No, listen, I have a team of guys that are familiar with the Facebook platform, and like they could get in there and they could do, maybe probably if Facebook's your bread and butter, let's just say hypothetically, they can do 70% good at the job as you guys do. But I'd rather their attention be focused on what they're good at and have your attention be focused on what you're good at. Yeah. But at the same time, it's a good way for me to kind of just help hold both sides accountable, because we're not blind as to how this platform works. We have good knowledge, but we want to bring in experts on it. So that's kind of our goal here.
That's awesome, man. How long have you owned your agency?
So the story is the agency's been around for about 15 years. And private equity fund bought the agency about 9 months ago. private equity fund brought me in to become president of the digital division of the company.
Congrats.
So the idea is like, we work with like massive clients in sports and entertainment. Like and the idea is, if you know anything about the creative business, it's a project-based business. So there's no retainer, there's no retention within the, so you can do $1 million project and then you might not hear from the client for a year.
Yeah.
So the goal was for me to come in and add, a new line on to the proposal where we say, okay, here's the creative proposal, but now let us come in with a media strategy for you as well to attach to that creative proposal. That way we can create more of a sticky relationship. So if we can prove this out, you look at someone like, they have two goals. They want to drive tune-in and they want to drive, what's the other? It was tune-in and ticket sales for events. So like transactional things, so I said, we can't, we can help you with things like brand awareness and getting you exposure and eyeballs on your brand. But I'm a performance guy. I much rather focus on things where we can track and measure how successful we really are. So we're trying to work with them to create strategies like that. So if we can prove this out with some of these e-commerce sites, I know it's like, media buying is vertical agnostic. It's just translating your processes and methodologies just to a new KPI. So that's kind of what we're trying to, what I'm trying to figure out here over the next couple of months is finding a partner who I can be like, this is my go-to guys. This is, these guys are going to manage social. I don't have to think about it at all. We're just going to integrate it into our platform and that's going to be like our fully holistic offering. So
that's awesome, man.
So how big is your team? How many guys you got?
Right now we have one guy that builds out the funnels. I actually write the copy myself.
Okay.
So I put together the copy and the Facebook ads. And then we have someone else that handles Google AdWords and really the whole ad exchange process. So since you have that covered, sounds like we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
We have 4 guys.
Good. Good. So who are some of your active clients right now, I guess?
Flex Pro Meals. They're one of the biggest up and coming meal delivery companies. So they're similar to Blue Apron, right?
Yep.
So we do all of their Facebook stuff, and actually we're running a Snapchat ads with them, and they're getting $1.43 CPM, so it's working well for them. We actually moved all their Facebook campaigns to just retargeting, and we're getting the cold traffic through Snapchat.
Got it.
So yeah, they're seeing like between 700 and 2,000% ROIs from Facebook because it's all retargeting. That's good. We've done stuff for the Zach Group. They're like a bigger nationwide nurse recruiting firm. So they hire people. So that's not e-commerce, but you can check that out. Zach Group. What's another bigger nationwide? We've done work for YRC Freight. Now that was a while back, but they're a nationwide company since that's what we're looking at right now. We were focused on recruiting drivers. Same thing for rail transport. Now back then we just used the display network, so we weren't using a whole lot of Facebook. Back when like geofencing was the new big thing, so we tried out some new campaigns with that. Didn't pan out as well as we thought it would.
Right.
The nationwide campaigns, I would say those are the biggest clients nationwide we work with. Everything else is pretty much local. So
like a Flex Pro Meals, what type of budgets are you guys managing for those guys? No, but listen, I'll be honest, like I'm testing out a new partner. I'm not going to go and give you guys $100,000 budget right away. I think your success will ultimately dictate what your budgets are. Like if you can create profitable campaigns, you're foolish not to keep pumping more money into it. So
yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not going to fluff it for you. I'm going to tell you what it is. We're not massive. I would say the biggest campaign was YRC Freight, but even that was only 18 grand a month, and that was AdWords and display.
So do you have confidence in your ability to manage scale? Because if I were to bring in let's just call it a PGA Tour, like they're going to come in with an event budget, which is the events it's the 3 weeks leading up to the event and then the event week. So it's a 1 month campaign flight. And you're talking about campaign flights that are, in the $300,000 to $400,000 range. Yes. So that's not fully attributed just to social. So maybe let's say social is like 25% of that. So you're talking about $100,000 flight, month flight budget. Can you guys manage that and manage it effectively for, a high scale client like that? So I think, ultimately like our initial test will tell that, but I just want to understand if you guys can manage that type of scale.
Yeah, no, managing everything through Facebook is super easy. We're more than confident doing that. And I'm training 2 other guys right now to learn what I know. So this way it's even easier for us to do that.
Right.
But absolutely. Especially if you're not dishing out like dozens of clients to us a month. then yeah, absolutely, without question.
Where
And that's like 5 of those a month would be,
where are you guys based out of?
I'm out of Missouri.
Then I'm at DC.
You're in DC? Well,
Yep.
where in DC are you?
You know where Virginia Square is? It's right outside in Arlington, Virginia.
Okay.
Like Roslyn, Clarendon, Ralston, that whole area right there.
Got it. So how did you guys all get connected?
Power of the internet, to be honest.
What's that?
I said the power of the internet, to be honest.
Got it.
Yeah, he was building his agency, and then that's what I do is I work with agencies, and I like Josh's whole model. So we went ahead and partnered up, and I've already had a lot of experience before I was doing this over the last year. I worked, so I was very, very familiar with how they structured their company and how they. I mean, I dealt with the ad copy with them because it was god awful. Not to talk down on a company or anything. They're just very generic. And
I did a lot of business with those guys. They're very behind the times.
Yeah. To be polite about it and everything, right? So that's why we went ahead and went off and did my own thing. And it was really easy to get started because we're doing. Especially I'm in the Midwest, man. It's like nobody's doing any of this here, so I'm pretty much like a commodity out here. But yeah, so it was pretty easy to get ahead, and now we're just doing stuff that a lot of people aren't doing at all. I just got done helping a store. Actually, Josh, you could tell them about this one if you want to. The call we did yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday we just got done helping a store that has a $5,000 a day ad budget.
And they're all
they already spend about $100,000 the past month and a half.
What's the company?
It's actually a drop shipping company. It's called well, I can't really disclose that. We have an NDA with them. It's a drop shipping company. $5,000 a day ad budget. We were helping them optimize their ads to lower the cost per click, lower the conversion rates, pretty much get their ad copy in order, because they're missing a lot. They're bringing in tons of money, but there was so much potential with them that they were just missing out on.
I am mind blown. I've never seen anything like that. Their branding is almost non-existent, and they're still. It's just amazing to me. And I've never seen that. They aren't running any type of like aggressive retargeting campaigns, nothing. So I mean, we've done consulting with, clients like that do have a little bit higher daily spends, but we can manage the higher spends if you wanted to work with us primarily. We'd put it this way, we'd shift our focus.
Okay. So how does your fee structure work?
So we work on retainers. So I know a lot of e-commerce stores do 15 or 30%. We do it on a flat $2,000 a month per client. So regardless of how we scale, Oh,
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just telling someone else. So $2,000 a month, and then and does that manage up to a certain ad budget size, or is like
10,000
up to 10,000?
Yeah.
And then what happens if like I'm at 30,000? So is it 2 per 10?
Yeah, that's how we were doing it. I know it was kind of gave us some leeway, some leverage, because a lot of companies were doing 30%. So now if we these larger campaigns at 100,000 a month, then clearly we have to look at restructuring. But right now that's what we're doing to answer your question. 2,000.
All right.
So it's
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like as we figure out economy of scale here, like if this is working, like $2,000 per 10K all the way up to 100K isn't like a great business model for me. So I think you got to figure out some sort of like scaled prorated or some sort of tiered structure.
To be honest, Rob, we don't have people coming to us every day asking to drop $100,000 a month.
No, I get it. Yeah.
So we will.
That's funny because my problem is I do have people coming to me every day asking to spend $100,000. So
who else gonna like you?
What's that?
Who else gonna like you, man?
Yeah.
So we'll structure and pivot. That's fine.
So I think there's a couple of different clients right now that might be a good fit for us to take a look at. I think we'll tackle maybe like 1 or 2 of them. So the first client we should potentially take a look at is this company called and what they had developed is a cosmetics brand for women for, like the active lifestyle. So these are cosmetics you can wear while you're working out effectively. They have no they've noted D2C marketing strategy. So we're coming in with like a full turnkey solution. We're building out their Shopify platform. We're managing all their drip campaigns. We're managing all their product uploads. We're managing their SKUs, everything, soup to nuts. And the reason I like to do that is then I can really ensure that what I'm doing on the media side is matching up on the back end. So if I can control the back end, it's just that much easier. So I think these girls are like hungry to go. They're just in the middle of a $1 million fundraise. So they're going to allocate about $300,000 to $400,000 to media over, probably a 6-month period. So not a negligible amount, enough for us to get some good data and get some good traction.
Yes.
So I think this could be a good initial opportunity. The other one is, so there's this cosmetics brand called Massive Cosmetics Conglomerate. And what they do is they white label different types of products for Walmart or Walgreens. And one of the biggest white labels they did was this company called, and they historically sold 100% of the product through Walmart. And Walmart wouldn't allow them to sell directly to the consumer. But now what has happened is they've shifted, and Walmart will allow them to sell directly to the consumer as long as they can get a percentage of the transaction. So to develop a social strategy for them, they want us to kind of develop a big kind of social presence. So those are two good opportunities. And then the third opportunity is this company called, and this is like a lifestyle brand, and you probably recognize their stuff because they I don't know, they white label to sports teams. Like, so if you take a look, like you'll recognize like their little red buffalo tag, like they have a good, a decent brand. And now we're just trying to help them develop a D2C marketing strategy. So like all these are the e-commerce driven sites that have no presence online. And we're coming in with a blank slate to kind of develop an acquisition strategy for them. So what I would probably do is it's going to depend on timing on when these guys are ready. Probably where we do, we do maybe like a 30-day trial, 30-day pilot, or a 60-day pilot, because 30 days isn't enough. Where we test it out, I let you guys kind of run with it a little bit with not significant oversight, but definitely a little bit of oversight for me, where I have my guys just kind of talking to you on a daily basis, whatever it is. We see how that goes. And if it goes well, we continue shifting more budget to you for start to introduce new clients. So if you guys play your cards right, like, this could be a scenario where if we build something big enough and I'm confident enough, like it's where like I'm part of a bigger organization, and my goal is not to necessarily always be outsourcing this. So I'd love to be able to internalize some of this. And if we can create a process here where we can create a JV or a partnership, or where I can absorb you guys, or whatever it is, give you guys the opportunity to really make some serious money. Like that's my goal here, is because I don't want to be subbing this out for the rest of my life. I want to be, on the same page as the guys I'm working with.
Well, it's more profitable for you, way more profitable for you that
way. Yeah. And listen, I'm in New York. I got offices out in LA. So like I'm back and forth, I'm all over the place, and you don't need to be in the same office as someone anymore to kind of make it work. I think it's just this day and age, you don't need to do that. So I think, so Josh, I'll actually be in DC a week from today. In 2 weeks, after Memorial Day weekend, I'll be there. Yeah. So, I mean, maybe we can schedule some time to meet and like just kind of chat through things. But like, you guys answered like my initial set of questions that I always had. So I'm pretty comfortable starting to talk about like next steps here.
Definitely.
You're not coming out to KC, Rob?
Maybe
Rob, you should, Rob, so you fly out here. We'll all have a chat.
Yeah.
Hey,
last time I was in Kansas City, was meeting with this who has a huge headquarters there. Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Take a look at them. They're very big in the performance space.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually go do that then.
But yeah, so on your end, I guess you want to shoot over, like, do you have like a scope, or like I can shoot you over my contractor agreement? What do you guys want to do, just to kind of, so I can take a look at this and start documenting it a little bit?
Yeah, so we have the proposals we can shoot over to you. If you have anything you'd want us to review, just so we can get better aligned with like expectations of your company and what you typically expect out of a vendor, we can definitely do that. But we can also shoot you over. Do you want a full terms agreement, or do you just kind of want a proposal of what we typically say?
Show me a proposal, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. We'll shoot it over to you for like a single client. This way you can see what that looks like, and we could just,
Yeah.
like we talked about, restructure our process as we continue to grow together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're always looking for big partnerships, and we're excited that you're willing to put our trust in us.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it can be big. So that's it. I think it could be an ideal match. I think I'm not gonna lie, I'm always weary of how I source these things on public channels like Upwork and things like that. So like, yeah, we're gonna test it out, and I think I'm comfortable like taking a $10,000 budget and testing it, and like, but if I see something after a week or two where I say like, this is bullshit, like I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna be hesitant about pulling the plug quickly because I got to protect these clients.
Yeah.
But to my point, you guys have answered all the initial questions the right way. Your methodology aligns with how I work. Now it's just like, how good of are you at the strategy and actually implementing it? So I think it's that's the only way to test that is trial by fire, in my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, so on that with getting started and everything, so we typically take roughly like 3 to 4 weeks to launch a campaign. Is that too long?
No, that's exactly what I build in. I build in a 1 month ramp up.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what it takes us.
So the idea is I should be contract. So I have letter of intents with all 3 clients I just mentioned. And once we're contracted, I have a 30-day ramp up period built into that. So
awesome.
We're going to be working parallel on like me building out all the programmatic channels, building out all like the, Google Shopping, Google AdWords campaigns, and you guys in tandem. So like, we want to make sure the messaging, like they're very different channels, but the messaging still has to be consistent across all these platforms.
That's rocking. So you guys are doing all the email automation, all the Google. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be great then, man.
Yeah.
How are they going to feel with us being in their business manager as a different email than your company?
Well, that was going to be my next question is if you guys feel comfortable, I can put you on my company email. I've had some guys that care. I don't know. How do you feel about it? I'd prefer you guys be under one email with me.
Yeah, I would prefer to make the customer not feel like they're your guys and their business manager. So yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I mean I'd really want them to see like you seem like you guys are an extension of our business and and go from there. So that's good. Good to hear that you guys are aligned on that.
Yeah, whatever works best for the customer, man. We're on board. So.
Yeah. Good. So shoot me the proposal. The sooner you get it to me, the sooner I can kind of get it turned around. I'm pretty swamped the rest of the week out here because I'm out here 1 week a month, so I got a pretty hectic schedule. But yeah, beginning of next week, I'll have something turned around, assuming you can get it to me this week.
Cool. Sounds like
all right. We'll do that. Yeah, I'll get it to you probably by the end of today. Just I'm out of the office right now, so I just have to, once I get back, I can write that whole proposal up for you and send it right over. Yeah, no, take your time. I think as long as I have it in my inbox before this weekend, then I should be fine. Oh yeah, definitely. You definitely have it before this weekend. Is the email that we've been communicating on, is it the best one to send it to? Yeah. And then is it? Go ahead. It's in your guys' best interest, I think, to take a look at the company and look at the clients we work with and start to think about, I'm very good with strategizing where, what we should be doing for these clients and like, just start thinking about, could we service these clients with these different types of call to actions and things like that, That's the next step. Yeah. This is a recorded call. So we're going to go back and we're going to check out the companies that you mentioned before. And then we're going to check out the site. And yeah, we'll definitely be deep diving everything so we can make sure that our thoughts are on. I love the way you think and how you're positioning all the value to your clients because we do the same thing. So I'm pretty excited to collaborate with you and your team over there. And it's going to be let's give it a shot and make it work. I think it's well, the numbers don't lie. That's all I'll say. I agree. Awesome, man. Right. You need anything else from anything else from us? We good? No, Josh, did you get everything? I know you had maybe one other thing you needed. Is email the best form of communication for you? Yeah, for now. And then once we start get working together, I'll probably try to get you guys on my Slack just so I can be a little bit more quick communication with you guys. Yeah, definitely. Sounds great. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah. Take it easy. Bye. Initial look at your proposal.
and we're not far off. I think a couple things are going to be a little bit problematic. With the initial launch of a client, the setup fee in conjunction with the managed service fee on the first 10 is just it's more than I can pay. It actually brings me into like a non-profitability zone.
Okay.
So I want to, I guess, what I'm going to do is repropose a tiered structure based on spend levels that we can both agree on. I'd like to just kind of like be upfront on it and get something mutually agreed upon so that like no one's caught off guard by month before when I want to change it. So I'd rather just get it all hammered out in the beginning.
Sure.
And what I'm thinking is tiering it down, starting at like as a percentage of spend, starting it at like somewhere around like 10 to 12% and tearing it down as the spend levels go up, bringing the percentages down to a flat point, whether it's 7%, 8%, whatever it is, but just a point where I can manage the growth and not have to guess what it's going to be worth down the road.
Sure, that makes sense. So just a percentage to ad spend.
I think that's how I prefer to start it for a 6-month period, I think, because what you guys are proposing is effectively a percentage of ad spend, just a fixed number on a $10,000 figure. And
exactly.
I prefer just to put it as a percentage,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. And as on the setup fee, I'm going to need a little bit of flexibility on that in understanding I'm happy to pay it on new clients, post, on like a secondary client, a third client, each new client we bring on, I'm happy to pay a setup fee. On the client one, I don't have any space to pay that type of fee. So I guess gauge your receptivity to making an investment in this relationship and not taking a setup fee on the first client.
Well, clearly we're in this for the long haul, right? We understand that you're clearly working with multiple vendors to see who can perform the best. So,
yep.
So clearly, yeah, we're obviously in this for the long haul. So we're more than willing to be flexible up front.
Okay.
What kind of ad spend are we looking to start off with the first client?
So the first one, I think I'm gonna want to start it in that $10,000 to $20,000 range, and really just see how you guys do with that.
Okay.
And again, as I'm fully dictating all these budgets, and I think if you guys do your job and create some profitability behind that, I think it's I'll jump those numbers up pretty quickly. I understand how the whole process works, so I know the expectations were aligned on that was in that 90-day test period, so that you don't have to be concerned about what my expectations are day one. But at the same time, if we spend $5,000 and have $0 in revenue, it's going to be a serious red flag to me, as it would be to you, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I'd be questionable about what we're doing for a living. So
yeah, so I think that's where my mind's at. I prefer to put a tiered percentage of spend scale in, and just agree to it right up front, and then we can agree to some sort of setup fee on a per client basis post client one, because I know I know there's time and cost associated with getting these campaigns live prior to spending. So, and I'm happy to pay you for your guys' time. I just think client one, I just have less flexibility. So that's kind of where my head's at. I just want to make sure before I go through and propose like some red lines and some changes to this that you guys are on board.
Yeah, no, we can be on board for that. As we scale, this way we can scale with you. So, we love the idea of that too, obviously. Okay, so we're looking to start out with roughly, what do you think? So you said roughly $20,000 in ad spend at 12%. Is that what we're getting out of this? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's let me run some numbers, but that's kind of initially what I'm thinking.
Okay.
It's going to depend on which client I choose to pick, which client I use to start with, but that's kind of where my head's at, somewhere in that range.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah. And are you guys wanting to kind of include any type of onboarding process of your own, or are we just working on our onboarding process just so we can be aligned with you?
What do you mean?
Just making sure that we can
onboarding the client with you guys.
Right, exactly, or with you guys, vice versa.
No, so I think what it's going to be is we're going to position this. If you guys are good, we're effectively white labeling your services. So I think you're going to be an extension of my team, and we're going to be kind of collaborating. And when I introduce you to the client, I do think it's beneficial at some point to have you guys in direct communication with the client. Certain clients will just be completely clueless, so your communication will not be, be limited. But yeah, then we're going to position you. This is, these guys manage all my social campaigns, and if you have any questions on that front, you can direct them towards Rob and Josh, and anything else you can kind of direct towards me. But I prefer, for the most part, to like leave most of the client nonsense out of your guys' hair. Like, I think that's what I'm getting paid for, is to really deal with them and put together their business plans and develop their strategies. So in most cases, I'm going to be driving the bus that kind of decides where we're doing and what we're doing.
Rocking. That's perfect. Yeah, we just want to make sure you guys had a plan in place, and that we were just following your plan. So.
Yep.
Awesome. That sounds good. So I guess.
So I think, yes, I think just keep an eye out in the next couple of days for some kind of revisions to the proposal you sent to me. I'm just going to probably shoot you a follow-up email with some deal points that I want changed. And then we can get something more formalized in place and get a test going.
Sounds good to me. How soon are you guys looking to try to get the first campaign up and running with all your different vendors?
Probably my guess is within the next 30 days, but it depends how long it takes us just to get through this. We have a letter of intent signed with a couple clients, and I think it just depends how long it takes to just get fully papered with them.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I would tentatively say it's a safe point, July 1st.
Perfect. Well, sounds like a plan, Rob. We're looking forward to working with you, man, and we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, let's make this thing work.
And one quick thing, Rob.
Yeah, what's up?
Are you still looking to try to meet up sometime in DC?
Yeah, I would like to meet up because I think it's pretty important just to kind of put a face to the name. So, I'm going to be in there Thursday and Friday next week. So let me know what your schedule looks like then, and I can, I'll be pretty mobile if we, need to meet somewhere. But yeah, I think that I'd like that if you can make that work on your end.
Yeah, I would just have to double check my calendar, but I can make something work.
All right, let me know. I'm pretty flexible those 2 days, so just let me know.
All right, sounds good.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right, bye.
All right, so as you guys just saw there, let me make sure this is all hung up here. So as you guys just saw there, so we closed the deal for 20 grand a month in ad spend, which will equate to at 12%, 20,000 times, and then 12% of 20,000. Let me get that number in here because I'm so horrible at shorthand math. Okay, so that's not a huge number, guys. That's only what, 2,400 a month. If I did that number right, yeah, and I think I did 12, yeah. So it's not a huge number, but we'll scale with them. These are accounts spending 6 figures a month, so our goal is going to be to get to that number. So anyway, guys, that's how you do it. Whenever you talk with a bigger agency, you got to be flexible, and then when you are flexible, you got to prove that you can execute, and then after you can execute, that's when you grow with the company. They have 5 other accounts that they're looking to give us. That was in a previous call that we did that I will probably upload in some type of sequence with this video right here. This was our second follow-up call. And again, this is done through Agency in a Box. So, another agency got a hold of them, and then I went in and closed the deal. And that was a follow-up call to close the deal. We closed the deal, and now we're going to move it forward. So after we do well for them in 30 days, they hand us 5 other accounts that are all also going to be at 20,000 plus per month, which takes us to, anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 a month in retainers on this one client we're working with. So pretty exciting stuff. But guys, follow the process. The process works, but only if you do.